Hey there, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Welcome to this 8th episode of OzConnect. This is Erica, and here with me is Colin Ayers.
Hey, guys.
And OzRoy Chase.
Hello.
We have a good episode for you for episode 8. Here on OzConnect today, we are going to be talking about the schedule for Virtual OzCon, weekend of the 16th to the 18th, and we're going to have a special presentation on Tattoos of Oz. So stay tuned on your magic picture, and we'll be right back. First off, we're going to start with the schedule for the weekend of OzCon. We have a lot packed in the weekend of July 16th to the 18th. Colin, what do we got?
So we're really excited because this year it's virtual again. We are hoping this will be our last virtual only convention, and I've decided in our infinite wisdom to do 3 full days of OzCon, as OzCon would be live. So Friday will be purely pre-recorded content that will be on YouTube that you will need exclusive links to. So you must be registered at OzConInternational.com. I'll post the link down in the description. It is a free event. We're not asking for money. If you want to make a donation to the programming fund, we will be really grateful because it's still with volunteers and it's not free to make stuff, but we're doing this in the world of COVID. So we'll be starting off at 1:45 on Friday, the 16th of July, virtually on OzCon. It will be an introduction with me and Erica, and then we'll go straight into the scheduled OzCon for the day. So we've got a great Oz Film Manufacturing Company presentation by Nate Barlow, and he's really going to deep dive into the Hollywood film industry and what L. Frank Baum and the Oz Film Company are up to at that moment in time.
Except perhaps for L. Frank Baum. 2 months after The Squaw Man was released, Baum announced the formation of the Oz Film Manufacturing Company to produce feature films based upon his books. This venture, while ultimately unsuccessful, would prove to be one of the most innovative production companies of its time. That Baum, with his lifelong love of acting and the stage, would be drawn to the nascent film industry springing up around him was all but inevitable. As a young man, Baum had been an actor, writing and starring in a play entitled The Maid of Erin under the name Louis F. Baum. Later, the 1902 musical extravaganza based on The Wizard of Oz was a massive success, running for 293 performances on Broadway and making stars of David Montgomery and Fred Stone as the Tin Woodman and Scarecrow.
And to segue into what he's got, he's also done a proof of concept for a HD version of the 1914 Magic Cloak of Oz. And I'm just going to give you a little glimmer of what that looks like now. So I'm going to show you like the first minute from that so you can have a little see. So that's just give you a little taster of the work that Nate's done to that, and you'll find out more at OzCon directly. So
you can tell it's really cleaned up. It's a lot less grainy.
It's really cleaned up, but it's just a proof of concept. So it's not even like a true full remaster. So you can imagine what he's going to do when he can do a true remaster from the original celluloid. I'm really excited for you guys to see what it is that he's doing and for you to all have a look at the HD proof of concept. But there is also I think it's a 1 minute segment that had been lost to time that Nate has and other people have recovered that has also been placed in this Magic Cloak of Oz. Is mentioned in the presentation, and then he's placed the missing piece in there as well. So this will be a higher definition version than you've seen before, plus an additional sequence that's been lost to time for a very, very long time.
Neat.
Erica, tell us about cryptozoology at OzCon.
Ooh, we got something special for you guys. We're going to be releasing all 6 Little Wizard stories, but instead of just listening to my creepy voice the whole time, you're going to be listening to 6 different creepy voice, not creepy, but
just who you got lined up then, voice-wise?
Let's see. We have Sam Milazzo. We have Colin
as well,
and Justin Peavy.
And we need to get one more. It's going to also have added animation from the original illustrations from Sam Milazzo. I say animation, more dynamic illustrations that move along with the voiceover as a narration.
Nice.
Just a little bit of discovery for everyone. Mr. Chase, what's up next at OzCon on the Friday?
So we're going to be having a Toto of Oz. It is a panel discussion led by Sam Milazzo with Ryan J., John L. Bell, Jay Davis, and myself about the inclusion of Dorothy's most faithful and loyal canine companion, Toto, and how it differs in the later books. Special guest stars include Ryan J's own adorable wire-haired little Toto. So I'm really excited.
That's neat.
Puppy!
We've also got an interview with the International Wizard of Oz Club. We might have to call on Chase at this rate. I can't. Dina can't do it. I'll take that bit out, so don't worry. Cool.
Okay.
Jane Albright. I have a chat with Jane about what it means to be a member of the International Wizard of Oz Club. After that, we've also got a great video with our sponsor from the wonderful books of Oz.com, Cindy Ragney, and she's going to talk you through how to find a first edition book, what things to identify, and she's also going to segue in an interview with me, a new series that she's going to produce for Oz Connection. To find out at OzCon for that one. Erica, tell us about Carol and Eric.
Ooh, yeah. So I sat down with Carol and Eric through Zoom, and we had a really fun interview talking about their book, Queen Anne of Oz, which some of you may remember from the 90s, back before writing your own Oz books was more common. And we talked about their process and how long it took them to write it, where they came up with the idea. We had a lot of fun, and I really can't wait for you guys to see it, because it was, I think you get a lot of laughs out of it, as well as a lot of good. I think you'll find a lot really interesting as well.
Cool, because Queen Anne of Oz is a spin-off from TikTok of Oz, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, neat. I'm looking forward to seeing that. So next up,
basically because if you remember from the beginning of TikTok of Oz, Queen Anne is the queen because her parents just kind of ran off, and here she's just like, oh yeah, what happened to them? It's like a more aggressive Finding Dory.
Also, it kind of picks up where TikTok Man of Oz left off in terms of what did happen to her family. It's not a book I've got a copy of yet, so I do need to pick one up. So I'll be interested in that interview as well.
You can get one on lulu.com.
Cool. After that, we have got Marvel Oz interview that I recorded this Thursday with Eric Shanower and Scotty Young, and I am going to show you a clip from that. I am joined by 2 marvelous guests, Scotty Young.
I am a cartoonist and that has been writing and drawing comic books at Marvel and Image Comics for almost 21 years now, and have drawn books like Venom and Spider-Man, Legend of the Spider-Clan, and New Warriors, and later I wrote and drew Rocket Raccoon and Groot. I have done maybe 6 trillion Marvel covers where the little kid versions of Marvel covers, and of course I spent a great number of years with my friend Eric making awesome Oz comics. So
I'm Eric Shanower, and I'm a cartoonist too. I'm also a big Oz fan. I've been reading Oz books since I was 6 years old. I've drawn a lot of Oz comics, a lot of Oz illustration. One of my major projects is called Age of Bronze. It's a retelling of the Trojan War, which is published by Image Comics. I do a lot of other stuff too.
Oh my God, it's him.
Yeah, it went really, really well. So I can't wait for you to all to see that full interview on the
I can't wait either.
on the Friday.
Ah.
I'm really pleased.
Ah.
After that, we close out with a new Oz documentary. Mr. Chase, do you want to pick that one up?
Ah, yes, it's The Wonders of Oz, and it is a part one of a 3-part documentary series exploring the origins of Oz and how it became the cultural phenomenon we know and love today. This episode will look into the life of L. Frank Baum and how he came to write the original Oz books.
Oh, cool. And I believe there's a narrator we may have heard of on The Wonders of Oz.
When one hears the title The Wizard of Oz, many different images come to mind. Most think of the classic film featuring Judy Garland. Many of those that know the film was based on a book, which has inspired various sequels, stage productions, film, television, and internet projects, comics, and even storyteller records, and a host of spin-offs and merchandise. But where did Oz begin?
The wonders of Oz.
Mr. Chase.
Yes. It is a project that Jay Davis is leading, and he was kind enough to ask me to assist. And it is really quite wonderful. I've really enjoyed learning just so much more information that might not be readily accessible to everyone. And so this is a very smart and very well put together script, and yeah, Jay is just wonderful. So I can't wait for you all to enjoy.
I am really looking forward to this. This is something that Jay's worked on for years and is kind of a remake. His editing skills have moved on phenomenally over the years, and without revealing too much right now, there are several people across the Oz community involved in this little documentary style. So those that were hungry after American Oz for something that's more focused on L. Frank Baum and Oz, you're going to get to see that in this. So the premiere will be at 8 p.m. the OzCon International, July 16. And that will close out that part of that evening of all the pre-recorded content. And then we'll return on Saturday, July 17th for our live marathon, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Pacific time, which is 6 p.m. for me, and I'll end at 6 a.m., but it's fine. Me and Erica will be there to greet you at 10 a.m. and introduce you to OzCon, talk you through the schedule for the day, and then we start off at 10:30 a.m. with the great gals, Tara and MK from the Yellow Brick podcast. They are fabulous actresses, singers, and dancers. They have a really effervescent, fun podcast called the Yellow Brick Pod. If you've not listened to it, you really need to. First season, they talked through the wonderful Wizard of Oz book. In season 2, they've been covering the MGM Wizard of Oz, but they go way beyond that into spiritual discussions and discussions about how the film's made. And they're going to summarize their Wizard of Oz with some fun and music as the starting schedule on Saturday. So I look forward to seeing that. It should be a good bit of fun. And then we also have a Matilda Jocelyn Gage panel that is being led by moderator Dina Masacci, along with Angelica Carpenter and Gita Morena, relative to both L. Frank Baum and Matilda Jocelyn Gage, and they're going to really deep dive into Matilda's life and talk about the influences on L. Frank Baum and his written and Oz work. So look out for that. Dina's all three of them are always got a really engaging things to speak about. And Dina's always such a joy in terms of anything that she's done for us over the last few years. So really excited for that. That will be live around about 12 p.m. We will then have a break, and then we have some Thompson stuff. Do you want to talk about that, Mr. Chase?
Oh, absolutely. So it's the Royal Historian of Oz, and it is it is the Royal Historian of Oz with a focus on Ruth Plumley Thompson, and on the 100th anniversary of the publication of the 1921 book, The Royal Book of Oz. Initially credited to L. Frank Baum, but it was actually created and completed by a new young Oz author, Ruth Plumley Thompson. And Ruth would go on to exceed L. Frank Baum's original count of 14 Oz books by writing an additional 19 with the same publication, or the publishing office of Riley and Lee, plus an additional 2 with the International Wizard of Oz Club. And John L. Bell will be moderating a panel. And
Well, it's easy to write garbage.
I guess the panel will discuss what people feel about Ruth Plumley Thompson and what she brought to the Oz world in her 21 Oz books. Yeah, John will be moderating. Full panel will be discussed, and Erica loves it, as you can see.
Oh no.
Coming up after that, we have the Wizard of MGM. Robert Welch brings his fantastic presentation on the FX from the original Wizard of Oz from his grandfather, and showing you how some of the effects, such as the tornado and how Dorothy's farmhouse actually came into being and how he did this. So he has delivered this at OzCon Live, and you are going to get this at part of Virtual OzCon. It's a really great piece. And then we have a panel on OzCon. Erica, do you want to explain that one?
We're going to have a panel talking about the history of OzCon and WikiCon. It's going to be led by Eric Giovanni, along with Peter Hemp and Mark Lewis.
And then me and Erica will finish off that panel with an update on OzCon 2022, where we plan to return to Pomona for our face-to-face convention. Everything crossed.
Fingers crossed. May want to cross your toes if you can.
And then after that, do you want to update on Barnstormer? We now know who the panelists are for that, Erica.
We finally can announce the full panel for Barnstormer of Oz. It's going to be led by me and Mikey D, along with Caitlin Masters, Colin Ayers, and David Maxine.
Nearly finished reading it as well, so I'll be very fresh in my mind.
Oh yeah, and I was just talking to Caitlin a couple days ago, and she's getting ready for it too.
Great stuff. Then we will have OzConnect Live. This will be episode 9. It will be the end of season 1 for us as well. We will take a break from OzConnect until September of this year, and it will be with me, Erica, and Mr. Chase. We'll be joined by special guests, Aaron Toman, creator of the podcast series, The Chronicles of Oz, and the voice of the Scarecrow from that series. So if you haven't heard that podcast, it is over on Spotify and YouTube. I will post the links down below. We have new Oz author Chris Silver discussing their upcoming book featuring the Scarecrow known as Straw Man, and you will find out live on what Chris's book entails as we all interview in our first ever live episode. What could possibly go wrong?
And Chris Silva has given me the honor of beta reading their book, and it is very titillating.
Ooh.
Yeah, you're all going to want to read this book. It is fantastic.
Cool.
They definitely put a lot of heart and soul into their book.
Great. I look forward to it. I look forward to speaking to Chris. And then after that, Mr. Chase, we've got a presentation from Mr. Shanower. Do you want to go into detail?
Oh, sure. So it's about TikTok. And no, it's not the app that you can get on your phone. It's actually the TikTok Man of Oz. L. Frank Baum's 1913 stage musical, The TikTok Man of Oz, should have been a smash Broadway hit. It would have smashed Broadway records. Instead, after a really strong start, it started ticking down along for months until it ran down without much notice.
Nice pun.
So who were the men and women who struggled to keep the TikTok Man of Oz wound up? Eric Chanoa introduces the personalities who kept the clockwork going as long as they could.
Ooh,
Are you proud of that?
I look forward to Eric did a great presentation back in 2019 on one of the characters from the TikTok Man of Oz. So I'm sure it'll be fascinating as usual. And then we'll be ending the live session with the OzCon quiz. Erica, do you want to pick that one up?
So at the very end, we're still going to have our traditional con quiz. It's going to be focused on Ruth Plumby Thompson. It's going to be short, and winner gets bragging rights. So brush up on your knowledge, focus on Thompson's books. We should have fun.
And make sure you've got the Kahoot app downloaded if you have a
Yes.
smartphone, because that will really help you out to take part in that, as it's kind of like a multi-choice online quiz.
Multiple choice, true, false. It's only 10 questions just to make it easy on everybody.
Yeah. And then we will finish up with our usual after party. So get your Oz drinks ready, and we'll finish out the hour with a little bit of after tete-a-tete and discussion and fun and camaraderie. Then we would close for the evening, move into the Sunday programming, which again is pre-recorded only. And first up, we have the Wizard of Oz silent film commentary. Do you want to speak about that, Erica?
Ooh, very much so. Colin and I got together and we watched The Wizard of Oz from 1910. The very first ever Oz film. It's only about 12 minutes long. It wasn't even made by Baum. It was someone totally different. Not what you would expect.
Unusual. I've seen it once and I'd forgotten about it, so you'll get mine and Erica's fresh take on that short video. And then also you spoke, another thing coming up is you had a little interview with Paul Dana, is that right?
Paul Dana and I had a really fun talk over the phone, talking about his book series that focuses on Button Bright and Ojo the Munchkin Boy. You can find his books again on lulu.com. If you want to look them up, the first one being called The Law of Oz and Other Stories. Yeah, there's about 4 books in the series.
And you also had a catch up with other fellow Oz relative, Robert Pays.
Yes. For those of you who don't know, he is he is the son of Rachel Crossgrove Graves, one of the royal historians of Oz, who wrote Hidden Valley of Oz and Wicked Witch of Oz. And
it was a fun interview. I've had to edit out a lot. I wonder why that is, Erica.
I told you there was going to be a lot. We made a couple of segues, though at the end I kind of just talked to him about the Beatles because why not? It was fun.
Trust me, you guys will get the clean version. Let's just leave it at that. Yeah. And then
we talked about his mother, her legacy, and her influence.
Cool. So, Mr. Chase, do you want to pick up the Baum Bugle one?
Oh, sure. So about the Baum Bugle, J.L. Bell, the previous Baum Bugle editor, interviews current Bugle editor Sarah Kreutzer on the latest developments with the International Wizard of Oz Club's Baum Bugle seasonal magazine. And if you haven't registered to the International Wizard of OzCon, I would definitely suggest doing that. Also, get yourself a copy of the Baum Bugle today.
Oh yeah, I just got mine in the mail yesterday.
Yeah, I got mine too. I haven't got around to reading it just yet. It's always something good to look forward to in the post, and you'll have a little bit of a taste of what the Baum Bugle's about if you're not sure from the video with John Bell and Sarah Kreutzer. And then the next up is a Vlogs of Oz and Podcasts of Oz panel, which I will be moderating with. Pretty much during COVID, there's been a real rise in Oz podcasts and video logs, this show included. So I, along with Ryan J, Tori Calamato, David Dykett, Jay Davis, and Sam Millett. So we'll be having a panel discussion on talking about the rise of Oz vlogs and Oz online media, because there's something is definitely happening right now where there's a lot of content that there never was before until this last year. So that'll be a fun presentation. Watch out for that. And then we have Bombs Hollywood, a in-depth presentation on L. Frank Baum's life in Hollywood toward the end of his days, presented by Bill Graff, another great friend of OzCon. A special presentation that I'm all looking forward to you guys seeing, because some of us saw this back in 2019, but a lot of you virtual OzCon folks will not have seen this presentation before, and I felt that it was only fair that it was out there for everyone to see. And then we would be ending on Cryptosology with the last 3 episodes of that before we close up the program. So not a lot there.
Yeah, just a little bit.
I'm looking forward to it. I will be really tired and frazzled on the build up to it, getting everything ready, but I'm really looking forward to it in a couple of weeks' time. And then I'm going to hand over back to you now, Eric, and you can talk us through your little Tattoos in Oz discussion that you have for us.
Oh, yeah. So, Tattoos of Oz. Oh, there are a lot of Oz collectors out there, and a lot of them collect books. A lot of them collect knickknacks. There's a lot of different kinds of collectors out there in different forms, different shapes and sizes. But one type of collection we don't really hear about a lot, even though it's pretty prevalent in culture in general, is tattoos. And tattoo really is a beautiful art form. Body art really in general is. And so I wanted to highlight that and see how different people, if different fans have expressed their love of Oz through their tattoos. So I asked some people on Facebook to share their tattoos with me, and even the names of their tattoo artists if they wanted to, so they get their credit, because all artists deserve their credit. I'm going to share that with you right now. So first we have a tattoo by Vicky, shared by Vicky Fleury. This was on her arm, so that's why it's upside down. Pair of the ruby slippers, and it says "There's no place like home."
That's cute.
It's a little faded, but she was like one of the first people. She jumped onto this, so she definitely wanted to share this immediately.
Did she give you any story behind it?
Unfortunately, no. Not a lot of people share their stories either.
It's nice to see people just, this is the way they express themselves, though.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
we actually got a lot of sleeves. Sleeves being, for those unfamiliar, sleeves being like full arm tattoos.
So is this a full arm or is this 2 arms?
This is a full arm.
Wow, there's a lot going on in there. Do you want to explain what's going on in there?
Yeah, so here we have, I'll use my mouse here. Can you see my mouse?
Mm-hmm.
We have rainbow, and above we have the Emerald City, the Wicked Witch on her broomstick, skywriting "Surrender Dorothy." Here are the ruby slippers among the poppies, and looks like a dog tree, and I'm assuming that means Toto, or maybe it's also to symbolize their own dog, and a blue bow, I'm assuming, for Dorothy.
That's
and there's
really,
the yellow
really detailed. That's really pretty.
Is that a hot air balloon up in the corner there?
Oh yeah, that is.
That's awesome.
It's really detail. Awesome body art. There's so much there that as you keep looking, like you say, I never spotted the balloon. There's a yellow brick road in the background as well. Wow, that's a great artist.
And thanks to Caitlin Suxena for sharing her tattoo.
That's really neat.
And here, this is her other tattoo. Oh yeah, she has more than one. Caitlin actually shared all of her tattoos. Here we have the witch's hourglass, Glinda's crown, and her. She did show me a video where she turned her arm, and unfortunately I couldn't share it, but when she turned it, you could actually see the Scarecrow's diploma, the Tin Man's heart, and the lion's medal, and all in the same intricate detail. Yeah, like you can even see, but look at the detail. You can even see the scales
Yeah.
on the dragons on here, and you can see the broom behind it. And here's a close up of the balloon, and looks like some personal details, some personalization, probably meaning something unique to the individual were added.
Yeah, it's really, really beautiful. Oh, wow.
And here's another one of hers.
Well, that's really interesting because that's the tornado from Denslow, from the Wonderful Wizard of Oz, but then it's merged in with MGM.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the cow flying, you've got Miss Gulch, but it's definitely the Denslow tornado, that from Wonderful Wizard, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's really neat.
Along with some personal details added in.
But even that personal detail that's like a hairpin is almost a little bit like the Denslow signature thing that he does.
Thank you again, Caitlin, for sharing this. Oh yeah, and here's when it was first done.
Right, so we still got the PVC over it to protect it a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And here's from Lee White, and she wanted to credit her artist Riggs, Instagram from Riggs Tattoos. It says follow your yellow brick road, and it's a tornado with bits of the yellow brick road in it. The ruby slippers. You can see the Tin Man's heart, Scarecrow's diploma. Oh, and there's the Carry the Lions medal, and there's a field of poppies and a rainbow behind it.
And it's kind of chewing up the yellow brick road as well. That's neat.
Mm-hmm.
And she's also plugging the artist there, I think, as well on Instagram, Riggs Tattoos, if anyone's interested.
Yeah, if you want to check out other tattoos this artist has done, check it out. It's how a lot of these tattoo artists get their publicity. A lot of them use Instagram to get more customers. And here we see a one that's actually not inspired by MGM, but by Return to Oz, the Disney film from 1985, Leslie Carnahan. This is actually the key that Dorothy finds in the farmyard at the beginning of the movie. And I think it's a nice little homage.
Yeah, it could almost be like a little stamp kind of style.
Yeah. Like it's more stylized here at the top, but it looks more like a skeleton key at the bottom.
That's neat.
Yeah. Bobby Waters sent another hourglass.
That's really intricate. Wow.
Yeah. It's not in color like the previous one, but it definitely looks hyper realistic.
Yeah, the artist did a really good job on that.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Bobby, for sharing this. And this is probably my favorite. Here we go. Yeah, this is probably my favorite. Evan Evie Sanders sent picture perfect Neil illustration of the glass cat, and it was actually one that she had gotten recently.
That's directly out of the Patchwork Girl as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's really well detailed.
I absolutely love it. Like you can see her perfect pink brains and her little ruby heart.
Mm-hmm. I think that picture as well, you can see that was done. That's a very fresh picture of when it was first done, because you can still see where her skin's a little bit bumped from the work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but look at the whiskers, like it's the fine details.
Yeah.
And how see-through the cat is. It's like this artist tattoo artist Kelson at New Life Tattoos, Champaign, Illinois. You could tell they really studied the drawing to get it right.
Yeah, that's cool.
Right, from paper to skin. Compliments to Kelson at New Life Tattoos for really doing their homework on Neil. And then lastly, we have this really cute. This is actually really cute. Colin, you sent me this. Where'd this come from?
So this was from my friend Dave Ward. He lives down south of England. I've met Dave along with Brian. Brian, some of you have met at OzCon. And also I met him with Nick Campbell, who does work on the Bourne Bugle. He writes the Oz Gazette. He's friends with Sarah Kreutzer. So we've all met, and Dave has a big fan of the Sinar Oz series. And I reached out to him to ask for a copy of his tattoo because, again, they're all unique. It's very close to the actual imagery from the Sinar Oz, and Dave's a big Sinar fan. So I thought it needed to be out there because it's not your usual Oz
Oh
tattoo.
yeah.
Yeah. And Dave was happy to oblige. Yeah, it's really cute. It's really well done.
Yeah, I especially like the tattoos. I mean, I love the MGM tattoos because those were so beautiful and colorful and intricate, but I love the tattoos that were, not MGM inspired. And this one's really cute. I love the line work. I would love to see one that's in color. I mean, it's their tattoo and, it's their choice and everything. Of course, I'm not criticizing it.
I'm assuming that there is not many Sin Art tattoos out there, to be fair. I imagine there's a lot of MGM and Return to Oz, but particularly MGM.
I have a question. Do you know specifically what series this rendition of The Friends are from?
Sinar.
Okay.
It was basically an anime. It's from Japan, but then it was imported by a Canadian company, Sinar.
It's on Amazon Prime.
And actually free, surprisingly.
Yeah, it's a 52 episode series, Mr. Chase.
Yeah, the first 2 seasons are surprisingly close to the book. It starts to go off the rails after that.
So it's worth watching if you haven't seen it.
It's a cute series.
Is that the last tattoo?
Yep, and then that's the last one. To finish off, if you could have a Oz tattoo, what would it be?
And I guess just to segue in that we're not necessarily recommending anyone should have an Oz tattoo. It's got to be your own personal choice, and you need to be an adult, just to cover us all there. But I can show you my intended Oz tattoo. So can you see my screen?
Oh, yes.
So this is the Drew Struzan Mombi from Return to Oz. And I want a tattoo on my right arm, on the sleeve, and it won't be the whole of that poster. It'll be more the centerpiece with the hands grabbing the OZ in the face and bits of the hair. That is my intention for the tattoo that I will be having at some point in the next year or two on my right arm. And I've been contemplating it for a while because I think it's a fabulous piece of art. It's not MGM. It's really a little bit different. So that's what I intend to have at some point in the future.
I would love to get a tattoo. I think I would enjoy it. I get my eyebrows threaded, and they say it's like a similar sensation, like a painful fun.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, no, I actually like getting it done. It's very therapeutic. I like blackout.
Oh yeah, I like getting that done too.
Yeah, but I really like the description of Fiyero from the book Wicked by Gregor Maguire. He is described as having blue diamonds tattooed on his skin, but further in the script, it's revealed that they actually might be painted on, which makes even more sense because like he's described as having this beautiful like clay-like ochre skin, and with the blue diamonds on it would be just absolutely wonderful. And so it led me to believe like henna tattoos are temporary, because at one point while he's having a relationship with the Wicked Witch, he sees a scar on her wrist, and he thinks, oh my goodness, did one of my blue diamonds rub off on her? But yeah, I think I would get like henna tattoos because I do love the idea of just having a different tattoo on your body and it just slowly magically going away, and then you can get another one. So
yeah, I think the henna tattoos, particularly if you want to express yourself at a convention or something like that, or the temporary ones that you would put on your arm, are a great way of kind of showing your love. Cool.
And who knows, maybe next year we can have a Oz henna tattoo artist come and do some in person Oz tattoos that go away in about 2 weeks.
Yes,
that would be great, along with maybe some Oz face painting. Someone who's very good at that would be also a bit of fun. So I think there are a good couple of things to think about getting next year when we're back face to face.
Oh my God, we would have so many lions and tigers running around. It would be so nerdy.
But let's get it right. We'd have so many lions and tigers and bears. Oh my.
Oh my, everybody would get so tired of that joke by the end of the weekend.
Yeah.
And if you have an idea for an Oz tattoo and you want to share it, and again, don't forget, at least be of age, think about it, don't actually go out and get an Oz tattoo and be like, OzConnect told me to get it. But if you have an idea and you want to share it, just comment down below. I want to hear your ideas. It's really cool. Share them.
Or if you even have an Oz tattoo, and you want to share it, please comment down below and share it with us. But yeah, we are absolutely not telling anyone to get a tattoo at all. You've got to be an adult. It's got to be a personal choice.
Don't be like those drunk people in Vegas who get tattoos because, they were drunk and stupid and probably high. Don't forget to like and subscribe, push the button down below, and leave a comment. And again, this is our last episode before our live episode during OzCon, but we'll be back in the fall after a short break.
Cheers, guys. See you all again soon.
Bye.
Bye.